and kill them.
Yes.
And they're settling lawsuits about this, but they're setting it up to see if the nurses will sit there and kill the kids. You have incredible testimony. Break down her quotes, then play the clip.
Absolutely. This is Michelle Roden. She's with Nurses Against Mandatory Vaccines. It's an organization. She is a neonatal nurse practitioner. For people who don't know, that is training and clinical beyond a registered nurse.
It's a baby expert.
Exactly. We talked to her for quite a while because, of course, the title of the interview was First They Came for the Nurses. We know that they're using these same kinds of pressure points against the nurses, just as they have, as you mentioned, in Australia. You know, they threaten you, say, you can't have your kid in school. We're going to come after you because the kid is going to be...
pure totalitarianism.
Exactly, or take away benefits. Well, they've been doing this for a long time to nurses, and of course the government is putting the pressure on the hospitals financially, so the hospitals put the pressure on the nurses. So we talked about that, Alex, for, I guess, about 3/4 of the interview, and then she made this amazing recount of what she had seen in neonatal care, where they gave vaccines to young babies, even though they knew they weren't in physical condition, even though they knew that they were going to have a massive reaction to it. They just kind of laughed and said, get the beds ready. Here's that quote from her.
I think we are doing them too young. I think we are doing way too many at once if you just look at how fast the schedule has grown. But I think what a lot of people don't realize in a closed space like a NICU is they've decided that we need to vaccinate these babies on time. 2 months after they're born, bam, there it goes. This baby could be 4 months early and still supposed to be inside their mother and weighing 3 or 4 pounds and getting the same amount of vaccine as a 200-pound man. And I've sat in a room with all of our on-call staff, physicians and practitioners, like, oh, wow, this is so embarrassing. This 25-weeker never actually required a breathing tube and going on the vent. You know, after he was born, he was so strong, but we gave him his 2-month vaccinations and he got intubated last night. Ha ha ha, oops, how embarrassing. Like, it's funny.
Wow. Oh, he can't breathe now.
The step-down units are calling the NICU saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and give these 4 babies their 2-month shots today. Make sure you have beds ready because we all know they're going to have increased breathing difficulty, feeding and digestion difficulty, apnea, you know, forgetting to breathe and bradycardia. This is what goes on. And so
the whole medical ethic of first do no harm just goes out the door so they can follow the vaccine company's schedule.
Somehow it's just everybody's on this straight, they're marching the line of this is what we need to do. And so now that I'm in private practice in the clinics, you just see these kids, they are so sick and they come in sick. And a lot of pediatricians are giving them vaccines while they're sick, even though that is a contraindication, and they're just getting kicked while they're down over and over and over again.
Kicked while they're down. You want to know what 1984 is? The future is, Winston? A boot stomping on a human face forever. We're going to come back to David Knight after this break and give him the floor. In fact, I'm going to let you host the next segment so you can really focus for 6 minutes entirely on this, and I'm going to have my lunch and watch in the control room and let you finish up. But this is what tears my guts out. This is a beautiful, smart woman with like 5 degrees. We had them on screen. She goes, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. And then they all make jokes because they're so uncomfortable. They want to hurt and kill these kids. The kids stop breathing. They're killing them and then keeping them alive to have a life of hell, autistic, brain damage, cancer. You shoot the enemy with a 223, it takes 10 people to take care of them. You shoot a child when they're down, and now they're going to be in diapers till they're 45 and attack a police officer on the side of the highway screaming, Mommy. 45-year-olds in diapers running around totally insane. You wait, autism's gone from 1 in 30,000 to like 1 in a couple, 56. Imagine those kids are all going to be 20, 30, 40, strong as hell. And they're all going to be out there, giant armies. And soon, by 2025, 1 in 10. 1 in 10. That's mainstream news. MIT said that 2 weeks ago. 1 in 10 will not know what planet they're on. But nothing's happening. Alex is a conspiracy theorist. Love the government. Hand over your firearms. We're going to go to break. Let our guest host in here take over. I'm going to come back and go to Josh, who disagrees, and Malik, and Casey, and Joshua, and Truth Raider, and everybody else. And then I'll hit some other news as well. But
we had last week with Michelle Roden, of the Nurses Against Mandatory Vaccines. She had a bombshell admission of what she had seen in hospitals where, knowing that these premature babies were not in physical condition to deal with the vaccines, they were going to give them anyway, even to the extent that they would say, get the extra beds ready because we know that they're going to have problems with increased breathing difficulties, with feeding and digestion difficulties, with apnea, with bradycardia, and it goes on, she says. Kicking the kids while they're down, giving it to sick children over and over again. And of course, we just got this news break in. This is about the Nepal quake. They're now going to use this as an opportunity to vaccinate 500,000 children. They haven't got enough to deal with, so they're going to give them the vaccines. This is going to be done by UNICEF and the World Health Organizations. And here's what they're telling everybody. Measles are very contagious and can potentially be deadly. So we have an opportunity in Nepal after this earthquake to vaccinate all these kids and save them from measles. That is not the agenda. As Alex Jones pointed out in the last segment, drawing parallels to real unconventional warfare, drawing parallels to the guns and the ammunition rounds that were not designed to kill, but designed to maim. We've seen militaries do that. We've done that. We've engaged in that. And of course, unconventional warfare is at its heart about destroying the will of the people. Alex made a brilliant analogy when he said, if you get one of these kids damaged for life with vaccines, and of course that happens, the damage for life, you not only take them out of the game, but you take down their family as well. You take them out of the game because now they are caregivers for life. And then after the parents die, the children become a ward of the state, a burden to the other people to take care of. Why? Because they gave them these vaccines knowing the damage that it would do. Now, again, going back to unconventional warfare, because Alex was talking about, just before we came in here with the vaccines, he was talking about Jade Helm. And at the center of Jade Helm is unconventional warfare. If you look at the center of that logo, there is a shoe. The military has described that as a sabot, wooden shoe that was used by the French to sabotage machinery. So that's a symbol of sabotage. That is essentially what unconventional warfare is. And that is essentially what has been happening by our federal government to our economy, to our civil liberties for decades. It is a war of sabotage, an unconventional war. And let me read to you again. The purpose of unconventional warfare is to make people believe that they cannot succeed, to destroy their heart, to destroy their economy, to destroy their civil liberties, doing it in the name of greater security demands, saying that there's going to be economic hardship because it's linked to the cost of war, hopelessness to defend against assaults, terror, depression, and a disintegration of morale. That is what this trade agreement that is being negotiated in secret is about. And quite frankly, when I look at the Jade Helm exercises here, why are we being considered to be hostile when we merely want information about what's going on? We have a government that writes laws in secret, a government that writes trade negotiations in secret. We have a government that spies on us in secret. And of course, the military, whenever we question them, gets an attitude, you should never question what we do. If you notice on the Jade Helm map, everybody is either permissive or hostile. We have to ask ourselves, if it is hostile to the military for our elected officials or for the people to question what they're doing, to question the wisdom of their mission, are we already ruled by a military dictatorship? Let me read this quote to you from JFK. He said, there's another new type of warfare, new in its intensity, ancient in origin, war by guerrillas, subversives, insurgents, assassins, war by ambush instead of by combat, by infiltration instead of aggression, seeking victory by eroding and exhausting the enemy instead of engaging him. It preys upon unrest. The ultimate goal of this type of warfare is to motivate an enemy to stop attacking, to stop resisting, even if you have the ability to continue the fight. We want to understand, and we want you to understand, that we do have the ability to continue the fight. We do live under a government that believes that everything should be secret, that they should know everything about us. They should have all knowledge of us, and we should have no knowledge of what they're doing. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people in America who don't even want to know what the government is doing. They just want to look at the latest entertainment or sports event. They don't want to be bothered with it. I wonder how many people in Baltimore that are out rioting could even mention or even knew the names of their elected officials who even understood the process. We have to understand the process. We have to understand the medical tyranny as well as the other forms of tyranny. If they can force vaccinate us at any time they want, then we have lost. If they remove our informed consent by calling it a personal belief exemption, we have lost. But we're not going to let them. We are going to continue fighting. We're going to continue resisting. Stay with us, Alex. We'll be right back.
Part of that long incremental march. I want to get their take on a host of issues. Plus, it's Cinco de Mayo today. We can get a wide shot here. Last year, Joe Biggs had a report on it. A judge ruled this year that it is hateful to have the American flag if people don't like it. So public schools are banning it, the display of it, not just on Cinco de Mayo, but other times. So Joe ordered, that's a good-looking sports jacket, actually. You said you paid for it, from this custom place. I want them as a sponsor. I want to plug it. It's a good-looking sports jacket, $99, and it's customized American flag. The socialists, and I'm not kidding, I saw it from my friend's balcony window. By the time I got down there, they'd already marched back. We got some footage. We're burning an American flag. And they had communist hammer and sickle flags on May Day, Friday. And it was Friday night. So that's what we saw. So I guess if they saw you, they'd want to walk on you.
Yeah, they'd have a hard time, Alex, trying to walk on me. I'm not just going to lay there.
Well, you're a bad person then. You should lay down and let the system do that. So we're going to talk to you guys here in just a moment, then go to those calls. And if you're a radio listener and you want to go to Infowars.com/show, you can see the free feed that we put out every day for 3 hours. And you should be spreading the word about our local AM and FM affiliates. You should also be sending the web links to friends and family that don't have local affiliates in their area. This is an all-out war. You notice I've been pushing that harder than ever, that we have millions and millions of listeners. If you'll just wake other people up, that's how you found the show. Pay it forward. We need to explode in the face of the enemy. With the massive rating censorship we've proven, with Alexa and others, I mean, they are coming out of the woodwork. They're attacking us all over the news. They're lying about us. They have government groups and others coming and offering to advertise if stations will take us off. I mean, they're coming after us because they know, the American people know we're no nonsense, teleprompter free, and I may act like a maniac sometimes, but people look up what I say and they know I'm for real. At a base level, people connect and know that I'm really believe what I'm saying, and I prove it. Since the attack has intensified on us, in the last week I've been saying, I need to get satellite uplinks. I need to get all the stuff, which I'm weeks away from signing a deal. They all want 2-3 year deals. It's expensive. There's a lot of agreements, but we're there. We're lining up all the cable systems, TV stations. Quite frankly, it's like standing on a 300-foot bridge about to jump off the water. I'm hesitating because I say I'm ready to fight the world order. This is really, I got to use the allegory just to be truthful. It's like slapping them in the face. Well, it's worse than that. It's like pissing them in the face. I'm sorry. The point is that we're going to the next level here, and we need your support. Just buy the books, the videos, the products, spread the word about the transmission, and you've done it. This is usually a dead part of the year for anybody in retail sales. That's how we fund ourselves, old-fashioned free market. So you got to have quality, you got to have dependability, you got to have customer service, and your customers got to like you. That's how we fund the operation. Used to not even try to make money because I wanted to stay small. Then they tried to destroy me, came after me, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get big because big fish eat little fish, and big fish survive. So we've grown. We've gone from being 100 feet long to about 500 feet long. I want to go to 3,000 feet long, folks.
I mean, there's a lot of bands out there that I know that are on tour right now across America. They all take Super Male Vitality. I'm dead serious. When I go to these shows, they bring their bottles and pull it out to show me. I mean,
that's crazy. You've sent me photos. You ought to tweet those. You randomly show up at pretty popular bands, and they've got it.
Yeah, when we were in Baltimore, there were fans out there, people who listen daily, coming out and showing us that they've gotten the products, you know?
When I forget to take it, let's just say the feminine equation it notices. I'm sorry. All right, anyways, I forgot you have all those photos of bands with. That's crazy.
Yeah, I go out all the time. I got a really good friend who manages all these big bands across the country. I mean, from all these celebrities, and I go out and he gives me backstage passes, like I'm going to go see Slayer, and I take him stuff, give him stuff.
Very Christian, Joe. You are a Slayer, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are something else. People can see him right now in this outfit. So anyways, please support us. All right, gentlemen, let's cover Cinco de Mayo first. For folks that think we're joking, a judge did say you can ban the American flag if it's offensive. That's